All right, Class 10, let's talk. Board exams are breathing down our necks, right? And I know that chapter on globalization can feel a little huge, but don't you worry. We're about to do a super fast, super effective crash course. Let's do this.
So, is globalization giving you a headache? I get it. But here's the good news. This chapter has questions that are practically guaranteed to show up on your exam. For real. In the next 5 minutes, we are going to nail every single key point you need to know. You ready to master this?
Okay, first up, the big one, the absolute core concept. You've got to know what globalization actually is.
And there it is. Seriously, pause and burn this into your brain. Globalization is the process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. Why am I so obsessed with this exact sentence? Because using this exact phrasing is an easy, guaranteed one-mark win. It's the foundation for everything else we're about to talk about.
So, if countries are getting more interconnected, who's actually doing the connecting? Who are the main players in this whole game? Well, that leads us straight to the big guys, the MNCs, or multinational corporations.
The definition is pretty simple, but the key part is right there, more than one nation. That's it. If a company owns or controls production in more than just its home country, boom, it's an MNC. You see them everywhere, right? Think Ford, Coca-Cola, even our own giants like Infosys. They're all MNCs because they operate across borders.
Okay, everyone, listen up. This slide is pure exam gold. It's a classic 3-mark question. How do MNCs spread their production? And the answer is right here in 3 simple ways. First, they team up and set up production jointly with local companies. Second, they just straight up buy local companies. The textbook example you should absolutely use is Cargill Foods buying Parak Foods. And third, they place huge orders with smaller producers for things like garments or shoes. So just remember, jointly, buying, and orders. That's your 3-mark answer right there.
All right, let's clear up something that trips up so many students. The difference between foreign trade and foreign investment. They sound similar, but they're not. Foreign trade is just, well, trade. Buying and selling goods between countries. It connects markets. But foreign investment is different. It's when an MNC actually spends money to buy stuff in another country. Land, buildings, machines. See the difference? Trade connects, but investment controls. Investment is about owning a piece of the action. Do not get these two mixed up. So we've got the what and the who. But how? How did this whole globalization thing happen so quickly? It really boils down to 2 massive factors. Your magic phrase to remember? Tech and trade liberalization. Let's break those down. First up, technology. This is a game changer on 2 fronts. 1, transportation. Think about those giant container ships and cargo planes. They made it way faster and cheaper to physically move stuff around the globe. But the real revolution? Information technology. The internet, computers, smartphones. Suddenly, a company in America could manage a factory in India in real time. It's like the whole world shrank and everyone's in the same office.
And a second piece of the puzzle is liberalization. The easiest way to think about this, it's the government basically opening the doors to the world. Before 1991, India had these things called trade barriers. Imagine them like walls. For example, a huge tax on imported stuff to protect our local companies. Liberalization is just the process of tearing down those walls, removing those restrictions, and letting foreign trade and investment flow in more easily.
Okay, so if you're going to tear down all these walls and let everyone trade freely, you kind of need a referee, right? You need someone to set the new rules of the game. And that's where the World Trade Organization, or WTO, comes in. Let's look at the rules, and more importantly, the results.
So, the World Trade Organization. On paper, its goal is simple: to liberalize international trade, get everyone trading freely. It was started by developed countries, and now it makes the rules for pretty much everyone. But, and this is a huge but for your exam, there's a major controversy. Critics say the rules aren't fair. The WTO often pushes developing countries like ours to open up their markets completely, but at the same time, it lets rich countries keep protecting their own industries, like with huge subsidies for their farmers. So it's not exactly a level playing field, and you need to mention that.
So what does all this mean for us here in India? Well, let's start with the good news. For consumers, especially those of us in cities, it's been pretty great. Just look around. You have way more choices for, well, everything. Phones, cars, clothes, and all that competition usually means better quality and lower prices. That's a definite plus.
But there's always a but, isn't there? For every happy consumer, there's the other side of the coin, the small producers. For them, It's been a massive struggle. You guys remember Ravi, the capacitor maker from the textbook, right? A flood of cheap imports comes in, and suddenly he just can't compete. For thousands of small Indian businesses, globalization wasn't about choice. It was a brutal fight for survival, a fight many of them lost.
All right, deep breath. This is it, the final sprint. I call this the exam blitz. We're about to rapid fire the top 10 facts you absolutely, positively must have locked in your memory before you even step into that exam hall. Are you ready? Let's hit it.
Number 1. Globalization. What is it? Rapid interconnection between countries. Done.
Number 2, MNC. The key phrase, a company that controls production in more than one nation. Number 3, foreign investment. This is money spent by an MNC to buy assets. Think land, buildings, machines.
Number 4. The main drivers. What are they? Easy. Technology and liberalization.
Number 5, trade barrier. It's a restriction set by the government. The classic example is a tax on imports. Number 6, liberalization. That's just removing those trade barriers. And the magic year for India? 1991. Number 7, the WTO. What's its job? To liberalize international trade. Simple as that. Number 8, the impact on consumers. The upside? Greater choice and lower prices. Number 9, the impact on small producers. The downside? They face major challenges from competition.
And number 10 says a special economic zone. These are special industrial zones with great facilities, all designed to attract foreign investment.
And that really brings us to the heart of the whole chapter. Look, globalization is here to stay. That's a fact. So the real question, the one that you should keep in the back of your mind when you're writing your answers, is this: how do we make it more fair? Fair for everyone, the big corporations, the shoppers, and the small producers like Ravi. It's all about finding that balance. Now go in there and smash that exam. You've totally got this. All the best.